Hi, if you are someone who's planning to pursue financial modeling, then this video is for you. See, lately what is happening, there are students who are completing one part of CMA on both parts of CMA and coming to me asking a very simple question that, sir, should we go ahead with financial modeling course or not? On the other hand, there are other institutes who are offering financial modeling with an add-on feature of placement assistance. This has become a very common trend. So students are also having this question that should we go ahead with such offering or not? Now here are two things I want you to consider. See, there are successful stories where candidates have just completed CMA, focused on their basic technical skills required in the industry. Think of it as Excel, Advanced Excel and Power BI. To some extent, Tableau as well for analytics. But then there are other case studies where students have pursued financial modeling, learned corporate finance in depth, learned valuation in depth, and then went ahead with a successful career in it. So the question arises, after completing CMA, do you really need financial modeling? That's the first question. And to answer this, first we need to understand what is financial modeling, what value it brings to the table in terms of industry application, where do you actually use financial modeling, and then lastly, after understanding all this, we'll get to know that should you really go for financial modeling or not. So with this context, let's get started. But before starting, if you're new to the channel, then hi, my name is Aditya Shelar. I'm founder and CEO of Finstreet Education, where I teach professional finance courses. I have more than 7 to 8 years of corporate experience where I've worked with companies such as Deutsche Bank, FIS, Whatfix and KPMG across multiple domains such as strategy, sustainability and finance. So if you're someone who's a finance enthusiast looking forward to build a career in finance or even in management accounting, this is the channel that you should follow for all recent updates and career advice. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Let's get started. So the first thing we need to focus on is understanding what is financial modeling, and it is quite simple. Think of it in this way. When you join a company as an accountant, when you join a company as an analyst or associate, your team lead, your manager wants to take some decisions. So while taking decision, on what basis they can take their decisions, it's quite simple. It all comes down to cost benefit analysis. Whenever we are expanding, whenever we are launching any new product, whenever let's say we are buying a new machinery for our factory, we always evaluate how much cost we will incur and how much benefit we will get out of it. Or whenever we want to, let's say, invest, at what price we are investing and what we can expect out of it. This comes down to cost benefit analysis. So putting overall this presentation, overall this analysis in numerical format on an Excel, showing that what should be the right decision. In simple terms, this is financial modeling. Now, is there any specific financial model that you learn? To be honest, there is a long list of models and it depends on for whom we are making this model. I'll give you a very simple example. The most common type of financial model which is available in the market, taught in the market, is equity research model. Think of it in this way. Whenever there is a company which is built, let's say it is in a startup phase. So what is the value of this company? And for that, we have multiple metrics, multiple methods, multiple formulas, models to come up with. Now, when a company shifts to, let's say, a medium-sized company, and again, we have to value it, again, different methods are there. Let's say a company becomes a listed company. It's publicly listed, anyone can invest. Again, we have different models for it because then it becomes comparable. There are different types of companies in the market, usually, who are doing similar businesses. So whenever we want to value a company, should we buy the stock, should we sell the stock, should we hold the stock? This is something usually comes under financial model, but equity research financial model. Second type, which is more relevant to, let's say, CMAs and ACCAs, is cost model or operations model. Think of it in this way. Whenever a company is set up, let's say in its initial phase, we are analyzing what is our break-even point. Matlab, at what point we are at no loss, no profit, or at what point we can achieve our targeted profit. And all this is usually given by a cost model, which we internally submit to our CFO or our investors. Or next would be operations model, that whenever we are expanding our overall operation setup, instead of one factory, when we have multiple factories, how our cost is changing, how our operation setup is changing. This is again taken for decision making purpose. So it all comes down to which stakeholder needs that model, and accordingly we need to create a model. Now the main part is, if you observe, whenever you want to go for valuation, let's say you are analyzing a stock, its price. Do you know the logic behind how a company is built, how revenues are analyzed, how market research is done? Even after having market research, a company is likely to go on for eternity, perpetual. In 11th-12th standard, we all have learned something called as going concern, right? A company doesn't have an expiry date. So do you know what is Gordon growth formula? Do you know the logic behind it? That's the formula we used for, let's say, valuing a company. Another, if a company is listed company, and if I say PE model, price to earnings ratio, okay, basis pay, we can build a model. Do you know what is price to earnings ratio? Do you know the logic behind it? That's the issue. So when a candidate, let's say without doing any professional course, just completes BCom and then goes for financial modeling, it is going to be a huge problem for you, because before knowing how to analyze numbers, we should know the logic behind analysis, which you learn in professional courses. So my first recommendation or first advice is, after knowing what is financial modeling, what you should do is, first, along with BCom or after BCom, make sure you first start with a professional exam, a professional course, such as, let's say, US CMA, ACCA, or any other course which is relevant to your choice or your overall interest. After completing the basics, after understanding the fundamentals, then and only then go ahead with financial modeling, making sure that whatever you learn in financial modeling gets actually understood, applied, and eventually when you will go for an interview and questions will be asked around it, you are in a position to answer those questions. Okay, so that's the first major point. After completing at least one part, two parts, or a couple of levels in ACCA, then and only then go for financial modeling. Next part, what you need to understand is application of those financial models. As I said, you need to understand all the formulas, models, and then go ahead with financial modeling. There are overall, let's say, 4 to 5 categories of models in the market. So something I would recommend is, if you're someone who's targeting corporate finance, specifically, let's say IB operations, hedge funds, mutual funds, or companies who are into heavy research, credit rating agencies, then the first type, which is corporate finance model, should be helpful, or equity research model should be helpful. Secondly, specifically for CMAs and ACCAs, for you guys, a cost model or an operations model would be helpful. Now, these models are usually used by fp&a teams or even finance business partnership teams. Here you need to understand two things. If you are looking for a cost model, your costing analysis, costing fundamentals should be crystal clear. Secondly, if you're someone who's looking for an operations model, for you guys, understanding business acumen, or to further break it down, understanding a business value chain. What is business value chain? Right from start of your overall production process or business process, right from R&D or right from purchases till the point where you are selling inventory and collecting cash being the last point. The overall process should be completely understood, how one segment of your value chain connects to or is dependent on another segment of your value chain, how bottlenecks work, how n number of things work. An interesting thing I've observed in this space, someone who wants to, let's say, excel at operations, these candidates usually go ahead with combination of Six Sigma with financial modeling. So something to just share with you. Now Six Sigma is completely optional. I had also done a very short-term course on Six Sigma, and I didn't use it much during my overall career. And secondly, whatever I've learned during my MBAs or even from CMA, whatever efficiency parameter, inventory management parameters I've learned, those are more than enough. Quite helpful when it comes to cost benefit analysis. So this is up to you. Now next, another different types of model around risk management as well. Another different types of model around another business practice or business process. So it completely depends on what your interest is. That will define the application in the industry, and secondly, what type of model you need to learn. Okay, I hope that helps. Now coming to the most important aspect. See, when it comes to financial modeling, you will see that a lot of institutes in the market just say that, join our financial modeling course and we will place you, we will do this thing, that thing and all. But I will strongly recommend that, see, when you have a combination of a professional course and financial modeling, this is something that really works, because end of the day, when you are sitting in an interview, you should be able to answer all these questions. Someone who's promising you a job or a placement assistance, see, it comes down to giving you an interview. But believe me, there is no coaching in this world, there is no institute in this world which can guarantee 100% placement. Because imagine if someone has, let's say, done, just for sake of it, done financial modeling, but after sitting in an interview not able to answer the questions, then what's the use? Which recruiter on this earth is going to offer you a job if you're not able to answer questions, communicate well, explain well, also convey the logic behind analysis and overall cost benefit analysis. So if you're someone who's looking at financial modeling, please look at it as an add-on tool. I usually give my students a very easy example. Let's say if you are working in a bakery and you want to make a cake, then the professional course is the inside base. Financial modeling is more like a cream above that cake. So it should work in combination. And the third part is cherry on the cake would be knowing how to use AI to build financial models. And at Finstreet, what we are doing is we are introducing AI in Finance program. And there are two parts to it. The first part is AI at work, where you will learn all the basic fundamentals of how AI came into the picture, why machine learning is required, why specifically after 2022 or 2023, ChatGPT has blown up, usage of AI has completely blown up, and lastly, what all precautions we need to take in terms of ethics, in terms of prompt engineering, knowing the right framework, the right formula to give a prompt, to train a machine, to train overall, an agent in AI. And lastly, how to avoid hallucination. This is your first module. There is also an advanced module where we are going to work on AI in finance case studies, how we can use different tools to solve problems or do certain activities, tasks which are done in fp&a role, corporate finance role. And lastly, we have our third module. The third module is specifically built on models. There are top 5 models which we have considered. We have ChatGPT, we have Gemini, we have Claude, we have Perplexity. In this manner, we have total 5 top models which we are going to showcase in our AI program, and building expertise in this will make sure that you are industry ready. So if you're someone who's interested in this course, I've mentioned a link in the description. Do check it out. And that's it for the video. I hope you liked it. If yes, do press the thumbs up button. Subscribe if you haven't. As usual, thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next one.